years ago, I was the happiest man on the planet, literally. I'd just been headhunted for a really, really fantastic job. Is that better? Better? Yeah, okay. I've been approached by this company, a global consultancy company, who said, come and work for us. We've heard great things about you. We want to see what you can do. And they said to me, come and see what we can do for you. We can develop you. We can make you even better than you already are. Wow. That was absolutely amazing. And I started work, and their place was the absolute pits. It sucks. Honestly, it was the worst workplace that I have ever worked in. And having been in the army for 23 years, let me tell you, I've been in some pretty naff places. This was, without a doubt, the worst. After a week, I started thinking, I've got to get out of it. After 3 months, I said to my boss, look, things have got to change, or I'm going. And of course he said, yeah, no problems. We don't want to lose you. We want to keep you. We're going to change. And guess what? After 6 months, I left. No job, no prospects. And I just could not get my head around why such a promising job failed so miserably for me. It had everything I wanted to do. It was going to develop me in the way that I wanted. They changed their minds on that when I got there. They were going to give me a team that was going to do everything that I needed to do for the organisation. They kind of failed on that as well. It was just a kind of organisation that promised the world and gave you nothing. I still knew how to do my job. I still knew what it was that I needed to do. I just didn't want to do it. I used to get out of bed in the morning. This is in northeast US, in Vermont. And this is the fall. So this is one of those seasons where when you're driving anywhere, you just see the most spectacular colours. And I was driving to work and I was just oblivious of them. I hated going to work. About 6 months after I left that job, we came back to the UK, and I started thinking, what do I want to do? I need to do something different, because obviously what I was doing just wasn't right for me. I needed to connect with something that was going to make me think, wow, I can't wait to get out of bed in the morning. I can't wait to go and do whatever it is I do. And I found it. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. But first I'm going to ask you, have you ever had that kind of job where you've got out of bed in the morning and think, oh no, not again. Please don't let me have to go there. I know they're paying me and they're not paying me as much as I'm worth, but I've got to go. You've had that, haven't you? Yeah, I think we all have. So for the last 4 years or so, since I left that job, I've been searching for what is it that's going to get me out of bed. And I've been kind of lucky because I've found it. I have found my purposeful passion. Now this is something that we've developed at Pearl Catchers over the last probably 3 or 4 weeks actually, and it's come together really, really quickly as a result of somebody saying to us, help us find our reason to be. What is it that we want to do? Why are we here? What's our purpose? Any of you guys got a hobby? Yeah? You got a hobby, it's something that you like to do? Anybody play golf? Ski? Read? Yeah, you like to read? What is it about reading that you like? Escapism. Okay. How about anybody else got any different hobbies? Bodybuilding. What is it about bodybuilding that does it for you?
No,
focus. It just gets you out of yourself, doesn't it? It makes you forget that there's time. If you're doing something that you really love, time's just gone. You just forget about everything that you're doing. As I say, we've kind of cobbled this together very, very quickly to try and figure out, okay, how can organisations now get this passion and this purpose about what they do? Anybody ever heard of a guy called Robert Cialdini? Yeah? He is one of the world's foremost experts when it comes to influencing people. And he tells us about an experiment that was done by a photocopier. Yep, a photocopier. There's a queue of people waiting at the photocopier, ready to get all their stuff done. And he gets some chap to walk with this huge pile. Can I jump in front of you because I've got more than you? Guess what they said? Yeah. The same guy goes back, different queue, same pile. Can I jump in front of you? No, go away. What was the difference? Because they had a reason and a purpose. And as soon as people have got a reason or a purpose, they'll do things. Kind of makes sense, really, doesn't it? So as I say, we came up with this, and it's our way of actually dealing with what we call a VUCA world. Has anybody heard of VUCA before? Did you come to the presentation? Yeah. This was a phrase coined by the American Special Forces, and it stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. And that's the kind of world that we're all facing on a day-to-day basis. Would you agree with that? Yeah, pretty much. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes. Least of all me. So we started off this purposeful passion with, okay, first of all, let's look at individuals. How can you rediscover what it is that's important to you? I don't know if any of you have been involved in any pearl catcher stuff in the past, but we tend to do things in sevens. We like the number 7. It's lucky. So we do things in sevens, and we ask 7 questions about my purposeful passion. I don't know if you can read those particularly well, but we're asking you 7 questions. Who am I? Who are you? I'm Chaz. I'm a ski instructor. I'm a hypnotist. I'm an NLP practitioner. I'm a trainer. I am. Who are you? How many different things could you say that you are? Loads of different things. Why are you here? Is it because you just fancied a 5-minute sit down? Who are you doing it for? Are you doing your job for you, or are you doing it for somebody else? If you're doing it for somebody else, why? Do you fit? Are your values compatible with the organisational values that you're in with at the moment? Does anybody know what their own personal values are right now? You do? Anybody else? Yeah. There's a great exercise, it takes about 45 minutes, obviously I'm not going to do it now, where you can actually go through and rank your values to see if you can actually match what your values are with the company's. If anybody wants to do that, I've probably got a couple of slots, come and see me later on and we'll do that for you. How am I doing is the next question. How are you doing? Are you well? Enjoying yourself? Yeah? Are you getting the most that you can out of the workshop, the convention? Yeah? What can you do is the 6th question. So what can you do to make a difference in your life? That's kind of a big question, isn't it? Wow, what can I do? Ask yourself, do you like your job? Can I change it? What can I do differently? And once you've asked that question, what can I do? The next one is the all-important one. When can I do it, or when will I do it? Take an action. That's the thing that is going to make the difference for anybody. Take the action, make the change. And that kind of links back then to organisational goals, an organisational purpose. Anybody heard of a small company called Apple? Yeah, funny how that works. Their sole rationale is to create a little club for people who think differently. That's it. They've always focused on people who think differently. They might not have the same sort of market share as another one of these small companies, Microsoft, but they have that purpose. Our purpose is to get people who think differently. Microsoft's purpose is to get a PC on everybody's desk. That's what they do. You notice they're not a computer company. They're not a company that sells iPods, iPhones, or whatever. They have a specific purpose that everybody can gravitate towards. Can any of you guys say that your companies have that kind of small purpose that you're all working towards? Maybe yes, maybe no. And again, we've got 7 similar questions. We're pearl catchers. We like 7. These ones are very similar. Why are we here? Why is it that you go to work every morning? Is it just for your paycheck? Or is it something you actually really enjoy doing? I enjoy being out front in stuff like this because I'm a show-off, but I enjoy it. Who are you doing it for? Are you doing it for yourself? Are you doing it for your shareholders? What's going on with it? Who's on your team? Is everybody on the team interconnected? Is everybody aware of what the purpose is? Does everybody know the big picture? A lot of the organisations I've worked in, people don't. Where are you going? How are you doing as an organisation? And again, what can you do? How can you improve? And then that question again, when are you going to do it? The thing is, and now this is a secret, so don't tell anybody, the big thing about doing stuff is if you follow up on it, stuff happens. It really does. So if you think to yourself, yep, I'm going to do that today, and you don't do it, what happens? Absolutely nothing. If you actually follow through on it and do it, stuff moves on. You get more stuff done. Now, we also came up with a leadership model for our purposeful passion, and we called it reasons-based. I mean, we need to have a reason to go to work, don't we? We want reasons-based leaders. We want people who can give people reasons to turn up at work and actually do an outstanding job. Never mind good or pretty good or reasonably good. We want somebody that's going to be outstanding. And our reasons-based leadership model is actually based on the letters in the word reasons. Because there are, how many? 7. You see how this works, don't you? It's kind of neat. We're good at this counting lark. I think if anybody ever tried to get us to go past 7 though, we might struggle. Now with reasons, you're looking at all these things up on this. You're looking at results first and foremost. How do you get results? You're looking at the evolution. We're talking about evolution kind of on a regular basis. How do you evolve as a person? What is it in that environment that's going to help you to evolve and grow? Agility. What's right today might not be right tomorrow. The first S is for yourself. Looking at yourself and figuring out what are you about is kind of an important part of this. O is for organisation. We'll go through these in a little bit more detail in a bit. N is for networks. And finally, strategy. Where does this all fit into the big picture? So these are the things that we fit into our purposeful passion. And you will note that you all have, if you haven't got one, you can get one. A little purposeful passion notebook. Would you like one? I'm nothing if not generous with somebody else's stuff. So here what you've got for results. You can see that it's not just something that you see with the evolution, you've got a continuous learning culture. Very, very important in terms of what we do. and no blame. Has anybody ever been in a room where someone said, that was your fault? Yeah. Happens to Tracy all the time. I say it to her, yeah. We do workshops with a company in London, and I say that to Tracy all the time. PowerPoint's broke, it's your fault. Microphone's broke, it's your fault. Coffee's cold, it's your fault. Never my fault. I never take responsibility for anything. Again, Pearl Catchers, we like this action learning stuff. Actually learning things while you're doing it. It's great for you. How many of you have ever complained when somebody's made a decision and you've thought, oh, I can't believe you've done that. That decision sucks. It's the pits, and you've gone on and on and on about it for weeks and weeks and weeks. Here's what I'm going to tell you to do with that. Get over it. If somebody makes a decision, they've made it based on the information that they have. It might affect you, accept it. And stuff goes wrong. We know that. Is that my coffee you're sipping? No, all right, thanks. I'll get it in a sec. So looking at yourself, being selfishly selfless. Anybody heard that one before? I hope not. What do I mean by being selfishly selfless? Have you ever done somebody a favour out of the goodness of your heart, and then you felt absolutely great for doing it? It's amazing how that happens. You do something for somebody else, and you feel great about it too. So you can be selfless, and at the same time be selfish. It works for you. Again, these are stuff, emotional intelligence, big thing. Values, again, we're back to alignment of values. Do your values align with those of your company? How do you engage and motivate your people? A company called Southwest Airlines had a problem. They needed to turn their aircraft around inside 10 minutes. So they had to get them cleaned, ready for the next lot of passengers, and have them starting to board. Now they could have said, right, get it done, but they didn't. They actually asked their employees, how can we do this? How can we actually get it so that our planes turn around? So they didn't make an edict, they asked their staff for their help. They engaged them. And guess what? They managed to turn the planes around in 10 minutes. I think it's since turned to 20 minutes, but as a result of their speedy turnaround, that company saved over $5 billion in costs. They don't need as many planes. We all know planes are quite expensive. $5 billion because somebody's engaged their staff. Wow. All sorts of things we can do in networks. I was talking to a young lady earlier on the stand, and she was talking about cross-silo stuff. Has anybody ever suffered from having a cross-silo relationship that went bad? No? Wow, you are probably one of the very few, madam. We do really need to try and work across silos or break down the barriers. But I know a lot of organisations find it difficult. This is the kind of thing that Purposeful Passion will help you to do. And in terms of the strategy, how do you communicate your vision? I heard of a senior executive who said to his leadership team, I want you to be more innovative, more entrepreneurial. Great. Anybody tell me what that meant to that organisation? No, you can't. And he couldn't either. He just didn't communicate it. Again, the big one, developing others. It's all about other people. You can develop others. You're going to have that selfishly selfless feeling. So I'm going to ask you to think now, and as you've got your workbooks, I'm going to ask you to do a little bit of work. And I'm going to get you to generate your own little motivating statement as to why you want to do something. So have you all got your little notebooks or something else to write with? I'm going to ask you a number of questions. Ooh, that hurt. So whatever it is you want to be, I'm going to just ask you to think about that for a moment. Now I'm going to use the word successful on here. Success means something different to everybody. So becoming successful is important to me and is something I want because, and then write yourself a little sentence about that. So this is going to build up bit by bit until you've got that motivating statement that's going to inspire you to do great things with whatever it is you want to do. And I'm guessing if you've heard of Robert Cialdini, you know all about influence, and actually writing things down means that you're more likely to follow through on them. This isn't just thrown together, you know. So the second question, becoming, again, successful is important to me and is something I want, therefore I need to do whatever. Becoming successful, is important to me and is something I want whenever I think about how I want to live my life. Becoming successful is important to me and is something I want so that I can achieve greatness. Lift heavier weights. Becoming successful is important to me and is something I want in the same way that I wanted to become something else. Becoming successful is important to me and is something I want, although I know that I have to balance my life and my work. Now this statement is the kind of thing you can use for work, you can use it for your personal life, you can use it for pretty much any kind of thing you want to achieve as you go forward. How many of you set goals? Yeah? This is great for them. Absolutely fabulous for them. So once you've got all of those questions asked, you can actually start taking out the becoming successful and make it success. Success is important to me and is something I want because, therefore I, whenever I am successful, so that I can, if I, but take out that first question and you've got your motivating statement. This is how you can get to reach back to your own purposeful passion. Figure out what it is that's going to motivate you. Why do you get out of bed in the morning? What can you do to make a difference in your own life? Because hey, if you're not willing to make a difference in your own life, who else is going to for you? On that note, I will say thank you, farewell, If you need to get any information, or if you'd like any further information about Purposeful Passion, please let either myself or any of the other Pill Catchers team members know, and we can get the information to you straight away. Again, thank you for your attention. It's been a blast. Cheers.